Okay. Now we are at the end. We will have Rain arrest it, and then we will leave with the fortune tellers. Because with this...
I think you've interfered too much. That's why you're...
Rain? Agreed. He's got no corroborated alibis for any key times, and he's one of them. I'll pick him up. Just be careful tonight, Sam. If you've not done your job properly, killer's still out there.
Hi, babes. Wanna go to bed?
Sam, you asked for these earlier. Make sure you get some sleep now. You'll need it. Night.
Yeah, I don't think there'll be anything with Zach, 'cause there's no reason for him to be in the guest house.
It's 1 o'clock in the morning, and this is Poe with your August update. We don't normally have them at this time, but since there's a killer on the loose, I feel it's my duty to keep the radio station mad. I personally spoke with Chief DuPont earlier, and he thinks they're close to catching the killer.
No, I don't want you up
Until
for
that
yet. We're gonna
happens,
go to
though,
bed
please
after this.
lock your doors and stay inside. Remain vigilant. The lights are swaying at desks. I hear the chattering of teeth and the glee of insects waiting to feed on me. The studio undulates like a heart that beats its last beats. I can't go on. I must to bed. Forgive me, Lady August. Forgive me.
Hi, babes. Yeah. She's purring, it's so cute.
Hello, sleepyhead. I'm so glad to see you alive. There is no next victim. Rain is locked up. He's being charged for murder. Travelers don't like being incarcerated, so they'll have jumped realities already.
Please don't
It's not
sit on my
something that a
toes.
jury will believe. The shell they've left behind will remember what they've done and spend a life in prison. All we can do is try and stop the next one. I still can't believe it was Rain. I suppose nobody is immune. And now we're one short. Sam, come with us, please. We could really use someone like you, and, well, just... will you?
Sure.
Really? Oh, Sam, that's wonderful.
I don't want to stay in August's playthrough because I've had so much...
Let's finish packing and we can leave this afternoon. Sam, thank you. We're going to change lives,
I'm just gonna be
believe
pissed,
me.
because after this is over, I'm going.
Hey, sweet cheeks. You did good. Real good. You win. Alexi hug. Sam, I'm just going to say it because you only live once and all that. Sam, I think I've fallen for you. That's it. That's all I wanted to say. It's out there now. We can get on with our lives.
Oh, please don't. There's been times when she's headbutted the controller and I've hit the wrong button, and it almost happened just now. I feel the same way.
You too? I'm the happiest girl in the world. We have some catching up to do.
I know.
Sam, I guess you're on your way now. I don't often thank my guests, but thank you. Didn't think you had it in you. Well, I at least thought you'd run away at some point, but you didn't. You stayed. You've made August safe again. If you ever need a place to stay, you've got one here. If I have a room available, that is. Take care, Sam.
Sam, you did good. I thought you would.
Oh, she actually didn't tell me, you know, like,
Yeah.
I need to pay a
Apparently,
bill.
they don't remember anything about the murders, but Bronwyn seems pretty convinced it's over. Well done. I hear you're leaving town with the tarot readers. That's a real big shame. You were starting to fit in here. But good luck to
Yeah,
you.
Danny's
Considering
dead.
many of us have died
Monroe's
trying,
dead.
leaving August. And I've stuck to my word. That problem you had, I buried it. The coroner's report is going to say the woman was dead when you arrived, not after. I don't personally believe in exorcism or anything like that, but over the last 24 hours, I'm starting to think things aren't as cut and dried as I'd like them to be. You're a good person, Sam. At least that's definitely how it looks from the outside.
I am Dorota. I am 21 years old. I love playing cello, and I just been awarded a scholarship to Juilliard.
Yeah, this
I
game.
just love cello. I love all string instruments, but cello is rich and deep and soothing, at least to me. No, cello is my hobby, but my real passion is... It's silly, it sounds silly. Well, I would like to build a time machine. I know. But it is possible. I think people make mistakes. They do things they regret, and they say things they don't mean. I
Probably
want to
have
go back in
PlayStation
time.
Plus.
I want to make better choices.
You know why you're here, don't you?
No.
Splendid. Let the deprecating begin.
Let's see where it resumes from. Yeah. So yeah, this game, it's a great concept. I thought it would be different. Honestly, I thought of Odo from the start of it, in Deep Space Nine. The acting is more soap opera-ish. It's less believable and more like the character, like the actor's just playing the part. People. I can't say there's really a character I really liked in this game. I felt awful for Oscar. I liked Lexi, but, you know, Lexi is so naive and throws herself at Sam, even though in my first playthrough I completely was like, no, I'm not interested, no, nothing. And she still was like an option. What got me about Rain is he was thrown in at the end, like, oh, you can kiss Rain, and it's like, there was no like subtext or anything with it. It's just like, oh yeah, here's a male love interest, throw at you. But yeah, a lot of characters I didn't like at all. I didn't mind Bromlin. Actually, it made me laugh with the Highlander reference, because that's the type of character she reminded me of, was like, you know, like a character from that type of show, like, you know, Highlander TV series, or like 7 Days, that type. See, I didn't mind Bronwyn. Didn't like Violet. Violet's... there's... Apparently you can find out that she was in a cult. That's why she has the scars and stuff, and I don't know how to do it. And I'd probably have to ask on Steam how to go about it. But I don't know if I want to play this game again. I really hated the in-between radio clips. Like, some of them were alright, but this game shouldn't have been rated teen. It should not have been rated teen. It should have been rated M for mature because of those snippets in between, and also the the swearing and talk about sex and stuff. Like, I don't know who rated this, if they got to play through all the logs or if they were given a script or whatnot. Because it seems like they just, like, didn't get, you know, like, Zack talking about, you know, sleeping with Violet and stuff or whatnot. Yeah. I really didn't like Monroe at all. Because she was just playing everyone. Like... So yeah, I enjoyed fucking with Zack this playthrough. Like, I had him punched in the face, even though it wasn't really him, it was Sam. Kicked him in the crotch. Falsely imprisoned him. Had, like, the scene with Lexi where, you know, you're not really Lexi, but, you know, you get drunk, you turn back into your proper form and scare the shit out of them. That was enjoyable, too. But yeah, there's a lot of awkwardness. Some things are... some things like the trying to sleep with Oscar as Bronwyn, that's kind of fucked up, because, like, it kind of throws into this whole, like, thing of consent, you know, like, none of these characters consent to have their form taken, and then not only are you, like, using them for, like, conversation and whatnot, you're also using them sexually, you know, that's creepy as fuck. So yeah, I don't know if I'd recommend this game or not. Also, the logo keeps making me think of a guitar, like Guitar Hero. Yeah, the acting is meh. Someone made a Steam post that they didn't like the acting, that it felt really shallow and faked. Like, it felt cheesy. And people comment that no, it didn't, but I agree with it. And Chief DuPont is, especially his What Do We Know Now, he just seems so naive. It's like, yeah, I can see why the cover story that the Shaws would hire a private detective. It makes sense. And his constant defending of Violet, like, buddy, if you are that obsessed with her, you should really remove yourself from the case as a conflict of interest. But as we know, they've only got 2 fucking officers in the whole town. Maybe 3, because apparently Danny is murdered, as well as Monroe. So, and he said he'd put someone in your room. So I guess there's 3 officers in the whole fucking town of August. Which is big enough that they have, like, a radio program and, you know, like, the stuff that they mentioned when Ellis got the radios, like, for free. Disgusting. So yeah, I didn't like Poe either. I really, like, again, I only really like Lexi and Oscar. I didn't mind Chief DuPont, like, didn't dislike him, but I wanted to take, like, the stack of files on his desk and beat him over the head with it and be like, buddy, you know, like, Violet could murder someone, you know. Don't, like, conflict of interest, you know, bud. So yeah. I also found it kind of weird that Dorota you know, hadn't, like, was not from the United Kingdom, like her accent, just because it seemed like really jarring after they've, you know, played this up as this is a small, you know, British town, and there was an old family there. So yeah, but that was just, you know, like, it's not that there couldn't be immigrants in town, so that was really, I liked that actually, but it just was jarring. I did not like Agent X at all. But yeah, there's things like that, like the thing with the rain and stuff. It seemed like there was stuff that was cut, like there's no lead up to. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the Shapeshifting Detective. I don't think I would play it again unless I was visiting, like, my friend Matt, because it would be something I would get him to play. But yeah, other than that, I really don't think I'd play this again. Mostly the stuff I can see are online. I managed to shove the yawns back a few times, but not that time. Minnow was kind of pissed at me. But yeah, so yeah, that's my thoughts on Shapeshifting Detective. I'd probably give it a 6 out of 10. Just because of the uniqueness of the, like, plot device. Like, I thought it was really cool, and it seemed like the game got funner when I started turning into people and, like, the different things. There's too many things that are too easy to miss. Like, again, in Chapter 4, I could visit Zach as Violet and get more information, but in Chapter 5, I couldn't visit. But, yeah, it's... And also, with Rain, I did, like, I found the clues and stuff, like, you know, with the wedding dress and stuff, but if you didn't, it's very ambiguous who the killer would be. Like, again, on my first playthrough, I wasn't sure if it was Zach or Violet. That's what I mean, it's like... The clues are very vague, and unless you know what to look for, if you've read, like, a guide for trophies or, like, discussion and stuff, you probably wouldn't pick up on it, and it seems more like you're picking a random choice. Like, the Rain one has the most. Like, even on the PSN trophies, I've got a comment that if you see Violet on the phone, that doesn't mean she's a killer. Because she was on the phone in this playthrough, and it was Rain. It just, like, seems to be randomly picked what she's doing. Like, if she's storming out, or if she's on the phone, or what. Yeah. So, I like the randomization that you know, it's a random killer each time, and you had to figure it out. But the figuring it out seems kind of vague. Especially if the killer is Zach or Violet, unless you're, like, turning into them. Because, like, again, I wasn't quite sure if it was Zach or Violet on my first playthrough. Because I was just playing as Sam. Because they're all suspicious, but it's like, you know, the clues aren't as big as you would think. Yeah, you gotta remember the wedding dress. It's like in Lifeline Crisis Line. Was it the swimming pool? Yeah, it was the swimming pool, I think. Like, they didn't mention where the body was found, and where you got Rod to admit that it was found in the swimming pool. That was a big thing about the Rod as the killer. The fucking Rodinator. Ah, God, I hate Rod. Rod didn't deserve his death, but Rod was not a good person. But none of the characters really, and like, excuse me, not Jason Leader or Jason Letter, him or his wife or his boss or any of that was really a good character. It was pretty much the story of someone that, you know, was an awful person and surrounded themselves with awful people and was utterly alone and did bad choices. And you stop Alex from, you know, isolating himself. I love Alex so much. Alex is just the best fucking character in a video game ever. He's just, I love him so much. He's probably like my favorite of all the video games I've ever played. Alex Esposito. Like, Detective Alex Esposito. He's just like my all-time favorite character. But anyway, yeah, that's my thoughts on Shapeshifting Detective. I've just rambled at the end of this to make it longer than it was, and because I'm pinned down, I have Minna laying on me in my chair. Yeah, that's the end of Shapeshifting Detective.